them since they like to run the late game comp. Whereas on the side of Infamous, we do see a Baron, of course, followed by the Idris being banned out. Idris, as we all know, is a very reliable counter into that Baron. Of course, for the side of Eanix, I'm sure they will want to ban out the Black Feather, who has got extreme dive. They are going to take out and remove that of Castro, which is a solid ban as well, especially when the side of Infamous, they are known for their Castro, their CP Castro as well.
Yeah, they do like to play Kestrel. I think Infamous haven't had much chance to play Kestrel. It's been banned away from them quite a lot. I'd expect to see maybe an Arden to pair with this Black Baron. They're going to go for the Batiste Roam. This just sets up for a Scarf and Weapon Lance or Cruel, whichever one they want. I think Cruel would be quite effective into Baron, but Weapon Lance may work better because you can really stop Baron ramping up early game. And they're going to go Glaive instead. I would be surprised if that's a lane Glaive. It's most likely to be jungle Weapon Glaive, and then they're going to stick with their Scarf every game it's available. They're going to pick Scarf. Infamous going to be ready for that. I think that's probably going to be a utility Roam Batiste, because then you can get an echo on your Fear. What do you think, Luxuria?
Yeah, I think utility Batiste will be the best option coming into this match, especially with that Glaive in the front line. And there is one thing, I agree with Dai, he has played a lot of Glaive, and we've seen him play that Glaive as well. Glaive does super well into that of Baron in the late game, as we've seen when pulled off by the side of Infamous. So the side of Eanix, they are switching out a little, but then of course the Scarf still remains, and whether or not the Scarf can put in work against this Baron is another topic altogether. For the side of Infamous, I reckon they have a Baron, they have got a Batiste. They are going to go for that Koshka just to counter that Glaive, but I'm not sure if Infamous have seen that of Eanix play, but I think Koshka does very well into that of Scarf, just not so probably as for Glaive in the early game. What do you think, Mini?
I think it's going to be tough for Koshka to successfully invade against this Glaive and get much from it. Generally, when you're up against a Glaive and you do invade, Glaive can just afterburn over a wall and not die. He might lose some of his farm, but he won't die. So if Iron You Die on this Glaive is able to secure his farm as soon as it spawns and then not get killed by Koshka, it's going to be really hard for her to push an early game advantage. That does mean this game's very likely to go into mid game quickly and push to late game without anyone getting a real advantage. You would say that favours Eanix because they love their late game comps. They love playing in the late game with Scarf. But Baron's extremely good late game as well. So it's to do with who can position better, because they're both going to go pretty glass cannon. They're both going to have a lot of damage. There's game-ending CC if Baron gets hit by the Afterburn, and a game-ending CC if Scarf gets hit by the Unmechanic Frenzy. So it's all about, can they block it, which jungler will be able to execute their CCs properly, and maybe a Fear into a Yummy Frenzy would be a great combination that Infamous can do. So I reckon it's going to get to late game without anyone going ahead.
Yeah, but that's something you say. And Eanix, one of the major weaknesses, at least going up against Infamous for the side of Eanix, is like they really, really take advantage of, the late game. They can be falling behind in that of the early game, but, they just favor their late games, as we've seen in all of the performance so far. But the thing with Infamous is that they know, and they know how to capitalize on their early game strengths. They know how to go in for those fights and, of course, take advantage of objectives as well. They just have to take one member down and they immediately want to push for those objectives, as we've seen so far coming out from the side of Infamous. And also, one more thing I want to point out is Baron. We've seen Uni on this Baron, and he doesn't quite wait till he gets 3 items or even that tension bow. He knows his first power spike is when he gets the Sorrow Blade, and he takes full advantage of that. And let's see whether or not this Koshka can successfully invade this Glaive, as I hand it over to Asarai and Mini as they talk about this match.
Hello. All right, so I'll be casting alongside Mini Miter here to give to you this last best of 3 series for the finals of today's Vainglory 8 Southeast Asia and Eanix. Really like their composition again. They got their scarf, so we'll see if they can transition this into a game 1 win.
Yeah, they'll definitely be happy that they got Scarf, because we saw Truffy's on Celeste was absolutely fantastic, but I think he's much more comfortable playing as a Scarf, because we've just seen it picked every time, as opposed to when Scarf was banned, he was kind of forced to play Celeste. That was his go-to last pick. Spaghetti is not looking like he wants to invade in the jungle, which is interesting. I thought Spaghetti, after he hit level 2, would go straight for Glaive's jungle, try and steal some backs, get a kill, and push the early game, but looks like Koshka's just going to port home to get some boots, get a bit more damage, and then get her own jungle instead. It's not the worst idea because you've got a Baron on your team, but you do want... I think Infamous do have a better early game comp with that Batiste, who's going quite low in lane to Truffy's poke.
So this 2v2 in the lane, Batiste and Baron versus Lyra with the Scarf. I think at least this Lyra, using again that heal of hers, will be able to, in a way, maybe out-sustain SNK with Uni for just a smidge of a portion of the time there. I Angry You Die, rotating to the bottom side, looking. We'll be spawning Spaghetti to take out this Treant. We'll see who gets the last hit.
Oh, he gets it.
Ooh, he gets it.
You die with the steal on the Treant. Koshka took that incredibly quickly. Obviously, getting 3 crystal bits means Koshka has an awful lot of damage for quite cheap. And now this is what I thought Spaghetti would do. Go to Glaive's back to try and steal some farm, or maybe get a kill. Angry You Die is likely to get one back. Koshka's there. It's going to get one.
Oh no, Truffy's is right here. The burst damage coming in from Spaghetti, but he immediately pounces away as that is a 2v1 situation. So Eanix knows a little bit of what's up, but Spaghetti, he tried to get the last hit, but it was actually Truffy's. And Truffles here in the mid lane, or rather in the lane. Using Lyra takes quite a bit of a beating, but Truffy's will provide some support. Rocket just from Uni. Gonna be spotting out I Angry You Die. There's a Rocket as well, and it's a 3-man invade in the jungle of Eanix. They're gonna be going much more aggressively in this one. Truffy's does have a whole bunch of energy here. At the same time, you gotta remember.
Lots of 3-man rotations together. We saw 3-man Infamous in the jungle together, and now Eanix 2-man rotating up to lane. But it was fantastic play from Truffy's. You saw that Glaive didn't get invaded in the first rotation. Obviously, Koshka brought it home, but then the second rotation, as the afterburn onto a minion, that wasn't what he wanted.
He wanted to go for it.
Yeah, he wanted to get Uni with the afterburn, but he accidentally tapped a minion instead of tapping Baron, so Glaive's just going to back off and get his jungle. Yeah, Truffy's went to the backs with Glaive, so that when Koshka invaded, they knew Batiste was in lane, and Lyra could just hold the lane, and the 2 carries would just prevent Koshka from stealing any. Only got 1 back and didn't get anywhere near a kill. In fact, Koshka almost died. So that's really good to keep the early game away from Infamous.
Truffy's, I think this Lyra is actually pretty good in terms of keeping themselves contained or sustained in the lane. Oh, Truffy's running away from Spaghetti. Spaghetti's gonna be just that aggressive. I Angry You Die with the backstab goes against Uni. That's gonna be the 1-for-1 trade. Make that 2-for-1 as Spaghetti on this. The Taka is being a little bit unleashed, or rather, sorry, Koshka.
Yeah.
It's right, being a little bit unleashed.
Yeah, Spaghetti diving under turrets to secure the kill on Truffy's. Very, very good decision, because Koshka is one of those heroes where you can do so much burst damage and you're so quick that even if you dive turret and seem to go far deep for most heroes, you can just run away as long as there aren't any slows on the fold. You knew Glaive didn't have an afterburn, used it already on Baron, so there was no chance Koshka would get punted back. Lyra wasn't there to give a white bulwark to stop her running away, so Koshka was free to just run in, run out, and only take 1 turret shot and easily survive and pick up 1 kill. Koshka is level 6, and there is not a block on Truffy, so there is almost definitely going to be a gank, and a Yummy Frenzy will land on Truffy's.
Oh, this is going to be disgusting if ever Spaghetti can land it. There you go. He's just going a little bit aggressive. Uses the ultimate, but afterburn over the wall. I Angry You Die with some pretty fancy footwork here. He's trying to go a little bit frontline. So while that was happening, Truffy's can maybe go in from the sideline there and deal the damage. Doesn't have the ultimate just yet, but maybe a goop plus the Spitfire would be enough. But to no avail. That's just going to be a show of power here for Infamous. And
Good
Eanix,
timing.
Yeah.
Good timing for Vainglory on the glaive. After went over the wall at the perfect time, so that Koshka would stay on her side, glaive would be on the other side of the wall, and Koshka couldn't secure the kill. Obviously, glaive takes all the damage from the Yummy Frenzy and is stunned, but he's on the other side of the wall, so Koshka can't immediately get those Empower basic attacks off. Seeing a lot of objective turret focus from Infamous, as we tend to see. They don't go for kills, they go for turrets and push. Like, they don't even need to get a kill. They just force you to port home or back off, and then they get a turret. Spaghetti in the jungle.
Spaghetti in the jungle, indeed. He's gonna go up against I Angry You Die. Just a little bit of a question. Before, have we seen like Captain Batiste's go for echo builds, or has it just been like recently trending?
We almost when it hasn't been that long. I think it's been about a month and a bit that we've seen Captain Batiste really start to use echo on that fearsome shade, and it's such a useful item on Batiste. Obviously, unless you accidentally echo a bad mojo, it's not the worst idea to echo and Ordained as well. If you accidentally don't manage to use echo on fearsome shade, you can use it on Ordained, because that will lock. So that locks glaive in place. He tries to afterburn through, and you Ordain him again, and we see the echo be picked up second item. There's nothing really to Crucible. There's no Blast Tremor. There's no Yummy Frenzy that Eanix have got. So SNK is safe to just get echo as a second item. That's really big on Matisse. He's going to stop Scarf forcing.
Oh, dirty.
So
bad
mean.
manners, man.
Bad mojo, bad manners, all of the above.
Yeah. SNK here onto the side. He can actually set up a pretty cheesy gank there if he wanted to. He does have the Ordain, has an echo as well, if I'm not mistaken. So he got the double CCs. There you go. Infamous will follow through as well, but the Bright Bulwark will keep them in their spots. Ooh, the rocket jump was able to give such a huge amount of damage there for Uni.
The Yummy Catnip Frenzy wasn't blocked by Truffy's, but it was snared by Lyra. Koshka was mid-animation, jumping through the air to try and get on top of Scarf, but Lyra used her Bright Bulwark and snared Koshka out of the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. That must be annoying.
Ah, you can't do it. Jump Jets is just too real, friend. And Truffles, can he get away? There's gonna be Uni though, going back in. Truffy's doesn't have an ultimate just yet. He can only go for a Spitfire with the Goops. Is this a misclick? Did he not go for that level 6 ultimate? I can only just assume. Yeah.
Sometimes Scarfs don't upgrade their Dragon's Breath until they've hit about level 10, because at level 6 the Dragon's Breath doesn't actually do that much damage. So some Scarfs prefer to get those levels in her goop, in her B ability, and so they just don't want to upgrade the Dragon's Breath. It's seen sometimes, but generally Scarfs just like to have Dragon's Breath available.
Yeah.
Clearly Truffy didn't want to this game.
But imagine if he had, that might have been 2 kills for Eanix.
That's the risk you take. Is it worth it to have extra levels on your goop, or is having that ultimate ability? Is that a better decision? Maybe in that fight it would have been better for him to have that Dragon's Breath unlocked.
Yeah, you can only wonder, but at least there's not too much that they got from that one, except for maybe the gold mine. Although Eanix looking to recuperate their losses by pushing up into the lane. Here is SNK, gets caught out by I Angry You Die. Goop as well with the Spitfire. Uni here to the sidelines. Here comes Spaghetti. He's going aggressive. There it is. Yummy Catnip Frenzy, the damage onto Truffy's. He's got to back away. I Angry You Die is not tanky enough to deal with Spaghetti for the meantime. Even with Uni in the backline as well, dealing so much damage with this Baron. And the fight is on Spaghetti. He wants more. He's into the side. He's going to be dashing in. There's the Fearsome Shade. There's the follow-up by Spaghetti. Here comes Uni as well. Jump Jets. SNK though, a bit more than he can cheese. Spaghetti leaps into the fight. Does a good amount of damage with that twirl. He's going in. One more shot. Oh, the shield saves him. And you can see Truffy's actually using that passageway just for the mobility. But the rockets from Baron. My goodness.
So much splash damage to pick up Truffy's and force Truffles to back off. Do they want more? Okay. Uni is so low. One Imperial Sigil is enough. Spaghetti's just trying to be sneaky. Probably could have saved his Baron, but he's just going to be even sneaky.
Oh no, Truffles. Oh no, Truffles. I'm so sorry. Truffles will be no more.
Not safe. He got the kill on Baron, so I think that's probably worth it. Truffles nearly secured the stop the turret from falling, but couldn't quite do it. and he did get an Imperial Sigil to secure a kill on Uni, but then Spaghetti was just there. So I think there wasn't much better that Trufflers could do, because if Trufflers had ported home, it would have left Baron to get a free turret and not died.
So now this Koshka is really paying dividends for Infamous. They have shown how versatile they are in the compositions, and this Koshka is again somewhat of a tempo hero that, well, Infamous have been using to a very insane extent. It's making it difficult for Eanix to even find any breathing room right now, because you know what, they have their breathing space just being constricted by Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous about a 5k gold lead at the moment, so that's pretty significant with a Baron on your team. I think Truffy's will be not too distraught because he has Scarf, but that is a Baptiste maybe out of position. No, good block, and Koshka's going to come up soon, so Infamous will be ready to fight. I don't like the fact that Iron Gyudai has built Tension Bow Aftershock on this glaive. He's gone for on-hit damage. I think he should have gone for pure weapon power, because now they can just get an Aegis and not worry about glaive's damage at all. I think if he'd have gone Solar Blade, Tension Bow, Tornado Trigger, it would have been way better for Eanix, but they're going to go for a fight.
Here we go, fight breaks out. Fearsome Shade gets blocked. There could be a secondary. Yes, it is up right now. SNK doesn't want to use it just for the meantime. And Eanix here, they know that they're behind in terms of the control of this game, so they're trying to force out the fight, but not dive in a bit too deep. Gonna be as safe as can be while dealing damage from afar. So a tricky situation if ever I saw one. I Angry Dice right here. He wants to go for it, but I don't think he can. But I may be wrong though. Here it is, the catch up onto SNK. He is just a bit too tanky. That is a captain. He's been building quite a bit of defensive items. You got yourself the Fountain, the Crucible, the Echo, all day long. Oh! I Angry Dido will get caught out. Yummy Captain Frenzy locks him in place. This is going to be a 1v1. Can't see that they're going to try to run away, and Eanix will just escape barely. Uni jumps in. He wants to go, but no more for now.
Wanted to fire those Porcupine Mortars towards the base to try and stop them porting, but couldn't quite do it. And a good fight for both teams. The carry traded for a captain, so Infamous will be happy and able to take away a little bit of farm, not much, but just try and push that Koshka ahead a little bit more. And look at the amount of shield Spaghetti's picked up. An Aegis, Infusion now, which, oh no, not an Infusion, an Aegis, a Light Shield, and a Kinetic Shield. Every single tier of shielding that you could have, Spaghetti has got. So he's going, obviously Aftershock Broken Myth, that's what you build on Koshka to do your burst damage, but then just flat out pure defense against Truffy's Scarf, who is probably going to have to build a Piercing Spear to make up for that, all that shield that Koshka has got, because just one Broken Myth giving 10% shield pierce probably won't be enough for Scarf to deal significant damage on Koshka, so that may force Truffy's to build how he doesn't really want to.
We'll just see Spaghetti is primed and ready. He wants to go for the leap of faith. Looking to maybe get Infamous in the driver's seat for this best of 3. This is the finals. If you saw the recap, there is, what, a 30-point difference between Infamous and Eanix. If Infamous are 40, Eanix is 10 in this tournament right here. So Eanix have a lot to prove, and Infamous have to keep their throne as the top 1 team for this game. And here it goes. The fight breaks out. Double Fearsome Shade spots out I Angry Die. That's 1. They're looking for another target here, another victim, and Truffles will be using his passageway to escape, but to no avail. That's going to be Uni to finalize the kill. Jump Jets as well. You're going to set up the Dragon's Breath. Can he get SNK? That's going to be a no. An ace for Infamous.
Yeah, well played by Infamous. A really good team fight. They focused down Iron Gyudai at the beginning so much. He barely even had time to tap on his tablet. But Yummy Cat that frenzied, then feared, then the Echo, another fear. He just couldn't do anything in that team fight, no matter how hard he tried, because he just got CC'd by the Batista and the Koshka. I think what Infamous are doing is they're showing how you counter a hyper carry comp. The whole point of Eanix's comp is to keep Scarf alive, let her get items, and let her be an absolute menace in the late game. Whereas what's happened is Scarf is not in the late game, only got 2 items and a defense. Baron's got 4 damage items, Infamous have got a slight lead, and Koshka has gone just full defense. You just tank up, so that Scarf won't do anywhere near as much damage as she needs to.
Yeah, and because Infamous have not given any breathing space for Eanix here, there's not really a chance for Trophies to actually get the items that he needs. And now here it is, the siege. It's real. Uni, my goodness, those jump jets are just doing so much damage. The double rockets in your face combo nation. Look at the damage from Uni. He's a little bit unleashed here, but Trophies will try to go for the revenge. And although this is just the glaive with the scarf, trying to beat down onto the Kraken, I think he will be able to drag its breath to follow onto SNK. But that again is the captain, Captain Batiste, so he should be fine for now, but he doesn't have any escape tools, so Angry Dai will help him. But one turret remains before that vein is exposed.
Yeah, Koshka manages to run away, so it's not an ace given away to Eanix. You generally expect to die when you're trying to push Kraken just to get those turrets. We saw the Baron, as you said, the jump jet's dealing so much damage. Uni can afford to get an Aegis. I'm not sure, he doesn't quite want to get it yet, maybe he wants to get some boots. The Scarf has got 3 damage items, working towards a 4. This is a really good time for Eanix, because Koshka's going to start to fall off. Her damage is going to start to become non-existent, non-important, and even though the more shields you buy, the less effective it is. So if Koshka decides to get a second Aegis, that won't give as much protection to her as the first Aegis did. So once Trophies does get 4 items, you're still going to deal a lot of damage to Koshka, even with all of the shielding she has got. So I think it still is possible for Eanix to turn this one around. They are around 6k gold behind. It's not at the 10k gold lead where people say it's game over. And even though they haven't got a turret, they still have quite a decent chance in these team fights.
Fight might break out in the bottom side. So, like you said, they still have a chance in these team fights, although there is a 6,000 gold lead. Sometimes that's not really the case anymore, as, like you said, Koshka has been building quite a bit of tanking items, so her damage should be starting to fall off soon. And Eanix, well, I think they're hoping for that one, and they're trying to push this a little bit more later into the later stages of this game so that they can allow maybe Trophies to start ramping up his items.
Yeah, we are 18 minutes in. I think Eanix want to be more 22, 23 minutes in before they actually choose to fight. So I'm pretty sure Eanix will be happy to keep vision on Kraken, make sure that Infamous aren't taking it, and just not fight for as long as possible. Iron Cannon will force a fight.
And here we go, Infamous. They're going to be going aggressive. No stuns yet for Spaghetti. He goes in with the leap, but that's not the ultimate leap that will get the connection of the CC. Trophies in a very bad spot. There's a blast from the scout trap. Eanix, looky here with this Lyra, keeping themselves pretty topped off, while Trophies is dealing so much chip damage from a side. They don't really want to go for this choke area here, because one setup of a Fearsome Shade might turn it back around for Infamous. Although, no blood has been shed just yet, but there might be soon enough. I could be wrong. Kraken still untouched.
I said that Uni could afford an Aegis, but he didn't want to buy it. Maybe he wanted something else, and he did want something else. He wanted 5 damage items. So this Baron is going to be 100% on positioning to stay alive, and they could be going for the back door. Infamous, they're going to be caught out. They're not going to be able to do the back door. Uni would have been, Koshka's going to be snared out of her pouncy fun, and Infamous are waiting for the engage. Scarf is going to poke out. Infamous going to go in.
Truffles got out of position there, but you can see Eanix smartly playing this right now. Infamous will be trying to take the base, baiting out Eanix here. They're saying, go for us right now, man. And Trophies into the side, caught with that Ordain, with the Fearsome Shade. I agree that I will not have any support whatsoever. And this could be it. Infamous are charging in. There's Uni! And his jump jets. Oh my goodness. Those should have been called jump rockets, because they are just that powerful. He's gonna jump jets away. Could they be actually going for the Kraken here? I think they will be.
It's going to be a free Kraken for Infamous, because only 2 members of Eanix are up. Trophies is now nearly fully built. Still needs to get that last item. I'd expect to see maybe a Frostburn on Trophies, but he's actually got the Hissing Shard, which may build into double broken myth. It makes sense given how much shield Koshka's got. But it doesn't make sense given that Baron's got no defense, and Lyra's going to try and steal it. And Lyra is going to steal it.
Oh, what? He did it. Was that an Imperial Sigil steal?
Disaster.
What?
It was an Imperial Sigil. Whenever you pop the Imperial Sigil, it does burst damage. So Lyra just waited, pressed it at the right time. This could be the turnaround for Eanix. They want to push this Kraken now.
Have the tides of battle gone into the favor of Eanix? This could still be Infamous's win. Uni is dealing so much damage onto this Kraken, is chipping him down. This 6 build, the weapon power Baron is showing its true fangs for the moment. SNK will get caught out. There's gonna be Angry You Die. Spaghetti goes in. Uni with the jump jets. He wants to go as aggressive as possible. Even though they got the Kraken, there's just the one turret for 500. So maybe a little bit of an offset. Go in favor of Infamous.
Yeah, I don't think the gold is at all anything to mention at this point, because Uni has all the items he wants. So the fact that he just got 500 gold from Kraken was pointless. He went from 1,000 to 1,500, and now what? You can buy 3 infusions instead of buying 2. That's just, it doesn't make a difference for this Baron because he's completely fully built. I like that Angry Dice now picking up a little bit of weapon power. Maybe it'll go into a Soul Blade. Maybe it will just be it'll get some defense instead. But I do like that. I think they need to get some weapon power damage to try and deal damage on Koshka as well as the Baron, because Koshka with no armor really could die to the weapon power glaive. But there's Uni going for the back door. His teammates are stopping the porting.
Look at the damage, my goodness, Uni. Oh, Uni. I am realized right there, but no, one more shot. And, well, they got the bad mojo, and they also have the bad tactics. Actually, it's not bad, it's just that it's dirty. So there you go. Game 1 will be taken by Infamous.
Yeah, where is your vision, Eanix? They decided that they didn't need vision in the jungle because you have your Crystal Sentry, which does provide an awful lot of vision. Whenever someone walks past it, you will see them on the map. But what Infamous did was they went, okay, we'll just take out your Crystal Sentry, and then when you push up to lane, we're going to use Spaghetti and SNK to stop you from porting home. Baron's just going to jump